In this tutorial, we're going to write an application which is going to print or display all the even numbers between 0 and 99. Our algorithm works like this. We start, we let the variable I to be equal to 0. Then we are going to write I, we are going to display I. Then we are going to add 2 to I. As long as I is less than or equal to 98, we are going to go to number 3, which is going to be a loop. And when I gets greater than 98, we are going to end the program. So let's go ahead and write the app. As usual, sign in into your App Inventor account. Then go to Projects, start a new project, call it all even numbers less than 99. Now we are going to be presented again with a blank screen. Go down and change the text to even numbers. So now we change this one. Again, we need the button. We are not going to get any input from the user. So the only thing we need is just a button to start the process. So we are going to say, on the button, we're going to say, start process. The other thing we need, based on what you have learned so far, is a notifier. But the problem with the notifier here is that notifier is going to get a little bit enlarged. Let's try it with a notifier and let's see how it looks. So I have a notifier and I have the button. Now I can start writing the code. As the problem stated here, we need an intermediate variable I equal to 0. And I is incremented by 2 every time. If we go to control, we have a couple of choices here. We can either use the for loop or we can use the while loop. Let's write this version using the for loop. So I'm going to drag and drop a for loop here. But before I do that, I'm going to go to button and bring button 1 click and then put this one here. Now it says for each number, okay, this number is a name. I can change this one, let's say to I. For I from 0, and I want to go to, let's say 99, 0 to 99 in step 2. If you look at your algorithm here, the step is 2 here. So in step 2, I want to display I. To do this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new variable and we call it, let's say temp. And the initial value of temp, we're going to set to blank. So we don't put anything here. Now, every time we go through the loop, I'm going to append the value of I to this temp. But since I don't want to have everything on the same line, I'm going to add a new line character to temp. So to do this one, I'm going to go to variables and I'm going to say set temp to be the previous temp plus the character. Now, the addition in strings is not the same addition as the math operator. These are different addition. So I'm going to use what we call a join operator. A join operator, it appends two strings together. So I want to append temp, the previous temp, to next line character. Now, you may wonder what is a next line character. This is a next line character. /n. And I'm going to add it to temp. So let's see what will happen. When I is equal to 0, temp is initially blank, so temp becomes blank. Oh, I forgot to put I here, so I need another join here. Put a join here and then put the I value here. So let's see what will happen. When I is equal to 0, temp is blank, so we get blank is equal to value of I, which is 0, the next line. Then we go to I equal to 2. Then our previous temp was 0 next line, so it becomes now 2 next line. So we're going to have all these numbers on the next line. After we have done this one, we want to use notifier to show the value of the temp. So I'm going to go to variable get temp. The title, I'm going to duplicate this text. I'm going to put it here, duplicate it, put it here. I'm going to put OK, and then I'm going to say sum of even numbers. Our code is complete. Now, as usual, what we have to do, we go to emulator here, click on it, wait a few minutes, and then we can test our code to see if it works. Now I'm going to start my emulator, which is already running. This is the emulator, this is the program. Now let's see what the output looks like. If I click start process, you can see all these numbers. They are written on the same line with a space between them. The reason is that apparently this \n is not accepted in App Inventor as the next line. So we have to come up with another plan to show all these even numbers on a separate line and display it. To do this one, we are going to change the display method here. So I'm going to stop this one, minimize it. Then I'm going to go here and I'm going to drag and drop a text box right here on the top. So this is my text box. Now, if I go here and instead of using the notifier to display, what will happen if I put everything in a text box? So I'm going to say set textbox.text to be equal to all these numbers. And I'm going to drag and drop that one out. And I'm going to put it right here. So when I click OK, or when I click on that button, it's going to show all these even numbers in the text box. Let's see what is the output. Now, if I click start process, you will see all those even numbers again. They are all inside the text box, but they are not on a separate line. So let's try another method. So we're going to minimize this one. We go to the designer. We click on this one. If you go on the properties of the text box, you will see one option says multi-line. This one is for the case that you want to have multi lines of output or text in your line, in your text box. You click on this one. Let's see how it looks now when I run this app. When I click on the app, you can see that now all these numbers, they are on a separate line, and exactly what we wanted to do.